Hello there, my silky friends. Yes, I know. I didn't give you any notice. You know why? Because I didn't know I was going live. I sat down to do a video because my time is very, very limited right now for today. And so I sat down to do a video, and you know what? I thought I don't have time to edit, I don't have time to upload. I've got stuff, So, welcome, welcome. I know most of you will see this on the replay, but I did want to talk about Mica Miller and just kind of give you an update on what I am doing. Whew, I've had a lot going through my head the last few days. But, all right, the last two videos I did were showing the background, okay, of some of these businesses because I am on a whole new route, okay? This is what I'm going to take you right back here. I didn't even mean to do this. Well, welcome to my Canva. You see all my stuff here. But basically I'm looking into Mica Miller in a different way. And here's why. Let me just tell you real quick. Here's the reason that I'm looking at it. Because without a miracle, okay, we're not going to see the kind of justice that we want. Now, maybe, if some other things come out, we might be able to, maybe they'll have enough reason to go back and look into Mica's death. But right now, I am just looking into the reasons. Again, sometimes you have to go through the back door to get what you want. And what we want is justice for Mica. Whether or not she unalived herself, which I'm just going to put this out here, the more I look into it, the more I don't think she did. And let me tell you one of the reasons that I say that. That is because it was a small detail, okay, a very small detail. But she bought an energy drink right before she went to the state park. Now, that might seem like a, whatever. She was in her work clothes. I don't think she would honestly want to mess up work clothes to pass away like that. But an energy drink. Why do you need an energy drink if you are planning to unalive yourself? I am thinking that she needed a little bit of a boost. But here is the other part of that. It not only gives you energy, all that B12 and all those vitamins that are in energy drinks, they tend to put you in a much better mood. It would seem unlikely that you would have an energy drink and then go do something like that. That's just my opinion. But anyway, let me show you. So I'm looking at, until we can prove otherwise, we have to accept what the police are telling us, what the investigation says so far. But what the FBI is looking at, and they do a much better job than I do. But I'm going to show you what I think, okay? Hello, Melanie Lynn. How are ya? Yeah, this is going to be relatively short because I don't have a whole lot of time. But, we were looking at some of the businesses and stuff. So, sorry, I didn't even think about downloading this. I don't know if I can make this any bigger for y'all. Let me see if I can go full screen with this. Maybe. Okay. Here is a list of businesses that are at 11019 Ocean Highway at Pawleys Island. Again, you will find this goes right back to Tom Winslow. All right, one of the guys that we're looking at. Now, it also goes back to a guy named who is the registered agent for a lot of places that share this same address and another one. they go back to a guy named James B. Moore. Now, he's an attorney. Let me tell you, first of all, okay, that just because a company is registered to somebody does not mean they own that company. It is the registered agent. And what that means is that it is a legal, and I don't think I said this before when I was doing these, so let me make this clear. A lot of times people will have the registered agent be the attorney. Now, it can be the owner. I would want to be my own agent. I'm not trying to leave that in an attorney's hands in case something gets, lost, whatever. But for any legal action that somebody might bring against your company or whatever, you have to have a registered agent. A lot of times the attorney will stay on there, thus, of course, guaranteeing them more business if your company gets in trouble. So, but you can also be the owner. I do not know who the owners are. I can only tell you, you have to look up all of these. Look at how all of these are LLCs, though. LLC. Very interesting. So I took one of these, which is Reserve Villas. And as you'll see down here, James Moore, the attorney. Now, he has a very good rating, very good reputation, apparently. Interesting things about him. But you can search just by agent. If you go to the South Carolina, you have to go to the state and then look at all of that. But you'll see that he is the agent for, you see, a lot of these. And I'm not going to be going through these quickly. You see all these, there's more and more and more and more. So clearly, he doesn't own all these businesses. Some of them are dissolved, and you can see what kind they are. A lot of these are LLCs. You want to, if you're going to do this yourself, look into, okay, such as Baker's Bridge Association, okay. We're going to look in that in just a second, but look over here where it says the entity type. It says nonprofit. These are the ones that you want to look at. And you know why you want to look at them? Let's see, there's one right here. You want to look at these because most of them are a 501c3, which means that they don't have to pay income taxes on. Okay, I did a nonprofit. I did an incorporation, but it was still a nonprofit. I did this years and years and years ago for something I was involved in, and I never did apply for the 501c3. We just didn't have enough income to even bother with. We funded everything ourselves. I just had it there for anybody just to be legit. Now, let's look at Baker's Bridge, all right? Again, it said it was a nonprofit. Here are some of the things I found, and you'll see some things that look legit and some things that you have to wonder about. Baker's Bridge, okay, nonprofit. When you look it up on Google, and believe me, I looked everywhere for this, it says that it is still in good standing. See, you'll see this right here. Effective date 8/12/2004. So it's been around for a long time. I don't know if these are investors. I don't know what they are. It's a nonprofit in good standing. But you cannot find anything about this on Google. This one right here is a historical association, and I believe it's in New York. All of these things are in other states, none of them in South Carolina. So this is registered in South Carolina, so it should be somewhere, somebody, something. I found that a bit odd. Now, see, when you have something that looks legit, it's going to look something like this. We started out, I'm thinking this might be the same or similar things here, because we have Wild Wing Plantation. Again, Mr. Moore is the registered agent for that. And that was back in 1998. So it's been hanging out for a long time. It's still in good standing. The only thing I could find is Aviary Village. I couldn't find anything with this first one, okay? But I did go down here and see that this is an apartment or a condo, some kind of complex. And you can look it up like I did on Google, and you'll see a whole lot of things. So I am pretty sure that's legit. you can see pictures, all that kind of stuff. It has a presence, right? Because we're talking about things that don't have a presence. Now, I don't know. I don't want to I don't know about this one. A builders, uh, and I assume they're legit. I don't know what's going on with them, but I looked up everything and I found these builders, and I was like, oh, okay, okay, good, good. This is legit. However, when I went to a site called BuildZoom, they found that these people right here, and this is their address. I don't want to say a whole lot. They may have fixed this. I'm just saying some things are a little sus because they had a New Jersey contractor's license that expired on 3/31/17. So I don't know if they dissolved the company, but it's not listed as being dissolved. The last verified license was on 5/13/24, but why New Jersey? Why out of state? And they could not rate them because they could not verify that they have an active license anywhere. So I looked up the business. I said, okay, let me see what this business looks like. And it is a house. Okay. I don't know. This is what the business is listed at. And certainly you can have a home office, but if you're a building company, you generally need more space than that. So I don't know. That's just one of the things I'm looking at. Now this one, Proverbs 3:5 LLC. I found a pressure washing business. Okay. I don't know what this is. They all have this address, though I showed you a picture of that building that goes back to the law offices. I believe that's the law office. I could be wrong. It's one of those buildings. Anyway, I'm looking for a website. I'm looking for a Facebook page, which I did find. However, it's in Ohio. So who are these people? And why don't they have a media presence? You see, this is the problem. If you're a legit business, you should have something that looks legit, right? All right, so then we come back to Backgate Investments. Now, if you'll see here, this is the same address, but it's Agent Tom Winslow, and that's the one that we are really focusing on. We're focusing on Mr. Winslow. It just so happens that Mr. Moore and Mr. Winslow do have are agents for the same building. So that's how I started for this, or their address is the same. They're both registered with this address at 11019 Ocean Highway. All right, so I look at Backgate and I find a big nothing. You can see how I typed that in. There's one, it's just Backgate. It's not investments, and it is in Ohio. So who are these people and what are they investing in? Because there are no business reviews. That's such a sketchy name. Now you can, but you have to, if you look on the state website, you can request documents. You've got articles of organization, and then you can see, I found this interesting. You can see when the registered agent was changed. And why was it changed? Did they take it? They put it in the attorney's hands in 2021. Started in 2019, changed in 2021 to Mr. Winslow, which, made me wonder a little bit, like, why did they do that? I mean, it could be a good reason. But the fact that you can't find these businesses is bizarre to me. Okay, look, y'all, this one. This is the weirdest name I've ever seen. Now, if you take a look at this, I don't know, it's FOKUSTD. You can break that up in all kind of ways, and some are very, very interesting. I have no idea what that LLC is about, but you will notice here that they have changed agents twice. They started in 2020, changed the designated agent or registered agent in 2021, and then they changed it again to Winslow Law in 2022. I would love to know what this business actually is. Okay. Yeah. All right, this one is another one I found that's an LLC. I couldn't really find. It's a nonprofit. Again, Mr. Winslow. Have no idea. No idea. The only thing I could find was an old Facebook page or an old website, sorry, that someone was doing a GoFundMe. It was in South Carolina. It wasn't far away. I don't know if it was church related or not. You cannot see anything about it, and of course, you cannot donate to it now. The only other Start with Art thing I found was in Atlanta, Georgia. So this right here is 10 years old. This whole thing, the GoFundMe, whatever, was started 10 years ago. It's a homeschool mom that was doing, and I don't know what they were raising money for, supplies. I have no idea. Because you can't go into it and see anymore. It's kind of shut down. But you can see this one started 4/16 of 2022. So this one was way back in I don't know, 2014, something like that. So that would not be, I wouldn't think, the same as this one. But this one has no presence anywhere. Again, why are all these LLCs hanging around and there is no presence on Facebook, on Google, on any of this kind of stuff? You see, this is where, if you see this one that's highlighted in purple down here, this is where it says, if you look at it, that this was done by Google it says more than 10 years ago. Okay, so I really don't know when it was. Very interesting, though. All right, I know this is kind of boring right now, but I have a point, okay? We're going somewhere with all this. Community Awareness Coalition. Now, this one just started on May 5th of this year. So this one probably, I don't know. We're not even a month old. That might be why they don't have a presence. But just y'all, if I were you, or me, or somebody who's nosy and curious, I would keep look on the lookout for something called Community Awareness Coalition, and see, maybe it is something good. I don't know. But I'm going to want to keep my eye on this one and see what they are doing, because I found no presence for them either, which could be, like I said, completely normal. But, so let me tell you where I am going. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at that. I'm not even seeing y'all in the comments. Let's see. Yes, I did Hiawatha. I did go on there and I watched that. Very interesting. I'm glad you reminded me though, because it was 5:30 in the morning when I got that message. I was like, okay, I'm gonna message her and I want to try to talk to her, and I completely forgot because that was when you're ADD, everything every 5 minutes is a new day. All right. Yes. Apparently. Yeah, see, there's so much thing. Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't see that. I meant to do that. It's okay. It's kind of hard to. I spent all day. When I say all day, like my dishes didn't get done, supper didn't get cooked, nothing got done because I was looking into that all day. Hello, Sarah Lynn. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. Now, I've taken you through that, showing you potentially shell corporations. And if you have the time, again, I think it's Secretary of State? Anyway, you can just look up how to find an LLC. If you have an LLC, it has to be registered with the state. Okay, it's not like you can look it up on the SEC or other things like you would a national corporation. LLC, just so you know, you have to do it in the state. So, If you're interested in South Carolina, you just have to set up an account. It's free. If you want to order the articles or, any kind of that paperwork, I don't know how much it is because I didn't order anything yet. But yeah, you can look up and you can go in there and it's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward. You can see what's going on. Now, that being said, let me show you what I am thinking, okay? We're going to start. Where are we going to start? We're going to start with JP, okay? Let me see if I can do this at all where I'm on here. Okay. Now, the reason I'm looking at this, and I want to tell you, there are so many things that I found while I was searching that were just disgusting. I can't even. So, most of this goes through Mica, everything that we know now. By the way, if you're looking up LLCs, you'll see all of these on the state: Tabernacle United Methodist Church, Florence, Glory Land, all that stuff. Because it goes back, the registration goes back to the 70s at least, of what I saw on there. So this is talking about Wayne Miller. Now, the reason I am bringing up Wayne Miller is because I'm trying to set a foundation, all right? So this all makes sense. Let me go back here. Because you have to remember, this is how JP grew up. Okay, I'm looking for... Okay. All right, let's go down here to where it says, and this is talking about Wayne, the Reverend Wayne. According to an affidavit filed by his former wife, Susan Miller, during their divorce proceedings, students from Gloryland Bible College accused Miller of making carnal advances toward them. They, of course, kept their identities private. But, all right, so you get a Bible school and you are being extremely inappropriate. That was one of the things that led to their divorce. Of course, we know he also was banned. Was it from Pakistan? He can't go back because he had a relationship there. They kicked him out. He was also arrested for being carnally inappropriate in South Carolina, and that was just a few years ago. So you can see that he was, in this article, if you want to go to Fitz News, it talks about what big names of, ministries he was a part of. They, of course, I assume, had no idea what they were dealing with. This talks about his Bible college. All right. So in 2006, he got married again to Leslie Oaks. And I believe this is her. All right. This in 2006, he was arrested in a bathhouse at Myrtle Beach State Park. Huh. So, he seems to like state parks. Interesting. The Horry County Police Department charged him with lewdness and prostitution after he allegedly exposed himself to an undercover officer. Nice going, preacher. Nice going. Whew. Okay, now, this is interesting. Though Miller entered a pretrial intervention program, resulting in the charge against him being expunged. The incident appears to have precipitated his departure from Myrtle Beach. So, yeah, you go into a program, they expunge your records. If you don't know what that means like it's removed. It's just removed. So, I don't know. I guess from the news or whatever, everybody knows this because I'm assuming if you were to do a background check, that wouldn't show up once you have your record expunged. It usually, you usually can't find it. So that seems like it was a pretty good deal for him. And there he is. Ugh, God, I can't even. I can't even. So, I mean, these are all of the things. In 2014, he's back on the charges again. You can read all this, but he pled guilty to fraud in foreign labor contracting, visa fraud, and willful failure to pay minimum wage. Now, remember, he had brought people over here from other countries that it said in these documents here that he did not feed them properly, that they did not have even proper food and shelter. Okay, their shelter was not, it didn't have heat and air like it should have, and it was substandard. So you're looking at all the things that he has to pay, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So here we go. This is the Pakistan thing. And this is why, okay, I just want to show you. Let's go back up here. It's important that we look at the father. Remember, this is how JP was raised. Now, also have to remember that as we're talking about all of this stuff, he was raised to believe that this was okay. He was raised with a father who was a carnal deviant, okay? Even if you're not talking about same sex, I'm just talking about children, okay? So you can, whatever your view is on that, it's not the standard Christian view, okay? So by that definition, he would be very deviant. And this is JP's legacy. Okay? Not good. Not good. So let me bring you to this. Because this is what I have been going on, and I'm trying to find things that link. And I'm getting there, okay? So we've got JP, who has a very deviant, as we know, all the things that are coming out about him. He was very deviant as well, okay, and very abusive towards Mica in the things that he required her to do, which are definitely not Christian things, right? So we're looking at him, and that church has a very exorbitant amount of money, land holdings. They've got their own plane. Then you have his buddy, Tom Winslow. And the FBI is looking into the Dare to Care missions because, again, what have I always said? If it's a nonprofit, if it's a mission, if it's something like that, it's easy to hide money. You know what? It's also easy to hide people. And that was the trail that I started leading with, okay? And I started to wonder what kind of situation goes on in why don't I have this? Hold on. I'm trying to bring up a news report for y'all. I started wondering what kind of situation, okay, that you would have in South Carolina. Now, I know in Myrtle Beach, like it's a really huge tourist town. Let's see, why can't I share this? Okay. So I found a news report, and let me share this.
January is Human Trafficking Prevention and Awareness Month.
And today, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson released the state's 2023 Human Trafficking Report. Officials say SLED opened 357 cases that included nearly 500 potential victims, mostly minors being sex trafficked. The counties with the most cases in 2023 include Richland with 43, Greenville with 34, and Horry and Aiken counties with 24 each.
The data also show that human trafficking cases were opened in 40 counties. There are 46 in the entire state, so only 6 reported no cases. Meanwhile, national human trafficking hotline data showed Greenville and Horry counties had the most reports of human trafficking. Then came Charleston County, with Richland and Spartanburg counties tied for 4th.
That doesn't mean that there's more human trafficking occurring in those 8 counties. That just means that's where people are seeing and identifying and making calls to the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
You can report an incident or you can seek victim services by calling that number right there on your screen. That's for the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
All right, so you see where I'm going with this. When I started looking at trafficking, now understand that trafficking is not always of the carnal nature. I mean, that's what we all think of, okay? And yes, there is a great deal, a huge amount of abuse in that area. However, there is also the factor that the problem with the trafficking is this. It's not as much, and I hate to say it this way, I just don't know how else to say it, so please understand. I'm not being racist here. But it tends to be more prolific in migrants and people who are not from the U.S. And the reason being that, you know, there's much more focus, unfortunately, on a missing U.S. citizen, especially a young one. You know, there's Amber Alerts, there's all kind of stuff. So when you are trying to traffic, you need migrants, okay? You need to bring people in from somewhere else. You are not going to be able to do everything that you want to do when they're tracked, you know, especially if they're undocumented. Now, if you watch the Florida news, look at Sheriff Grady. What is his last name? Grady. Gosh. Or is that his? Anyway, look up Sheriff Grady from Florida. Watch some of his videos that he puts online. Oh my gosh. He is hysterical. You will absolutely love him. But, you will see that there's a lot of trafficking of migrants, and Florida is not that far from South Carolina. Once you bring them into the country, you have got to move them quickly. In my area, in Alabama, well, not in my area, I'm not from Birmingham, but Birmingham is a huge hub, as is Atlanta. Neither one are that, I mean, they're drivable within half a day from me, and so, I mean, Birmingham's closer to me, but they're huge trafficking hubs because you have to move people. Once you get them here, they've got to go somewhere. So it makes me wonder if some of these nonprofits, if some of these LLCs are funding, involved with, whatever, are they shell companies? If you don't have an internet presence and you don't have anything that shows me who you are and who your employees are, and no active dealings going on, I mean, you know, you have to wonder, what kind of company is this, right? So this is what I'm thinking, and this is where I'm digging. So if you all find anything that I can look at, that I can share, please, 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 shoot me an email. If you're on my Discord, just message me. If you're not, shoot me an email at silkyandsouthern@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you, but I think this is just my guess. Okay, this is allegedly and hypothetical. This is all theory. But I think this is where we're going to end up. Again, we're looking at a history of familial mistreatment and misconduct with people from another country. You are looking at fraud from his dad. Look at all those charges. How many times? And you can see JP's actions. Now you have an attorney up in the mix, which makes it very, very easy to establish, because I wrote my own articles of incorporation. This is like years and years and years ago. Look, I'm going to tell you, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. It's much easier, but I didn't want to pay an attorney, and I figured I could do it, and I did it. So they warned me. They said, if one word is wrong in here, they're going to kick it back. But I saved a lot of money by writing it myself, and it went through first time. And let me just tell you, it is not an easy thing. So if you are going to set up a company, the best thing to do is to hire an attorney. Yeah, make him the agent, whatever. Call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Some of the names of these companies are just interesting, right? Yes, that's what I think, Mythical. I definitely think they're fronts. Let's see. No, I have not seen Katie Proudfoot given the help signal. Yes, Indiana is a huge trafficking hub. Absolutely, it is. No, I've been trying to stay off of the Sebastian Rogers case because it's so toxic. I've got one toxic case, and that's Delphi. It's about as toxic as you can get. And I am leaving the rest of the toxicity to other things, although I am very deeply involved in Mica Miller, and I don't care how toxic it gets. I'm not getting out of this one. It's like my second Delphi. Yes, sometimes they are thinking they are going to, and that usually happens, honestly, with people from the U.S. But what happens, and if you'll watch Sheriff Grady, you will see that a lot of them come over and they are sent here to pay off the debts, the huge amount of debts that their family owns, and whether it's Mexico or Colombia or, wherever. And so they are on they're like a slave here. And honestly, that's what Wayne Miller was treating his, I'm using quotes here, his Bible college students as. Free labor and free access to do whatever you want. Because, think about it. If you're a student in a foreign country and what are you going to do? If somebody is making advances to you and that's your only source and you don't know where to go, what to do, you're at their mercy. So, yeah, it's very scary. I don't know. I listened to a little bit of that, but I couldn't figure that out either, Mythical. Yeah. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that's where I'm going with this. I don't even have a thumbnail up for this. Like I said, I did not even mean to do this one. I just decided to go live and let you know what I was working on. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah, for Pitts. Hey, you and I have had some throwback a little bit. It's all good though. It's all good. I know you're not surprised. Hey, Pam Frenchman. Yeah, I didn't send out a notification. I sat down here to record a video and I thought, nah, I don't have time to edit it. I have decided I've actually got some plans tonight. I'm meeting up with a friend of mine, which I haven't done in a long time. I'm trying to get a balance in my life, okay? Because this is very heavy. But yes, I think this is just me, but I think we're going to find more and more that a lot of these are shell companies. And I have to wonder if the FBI is thinking human trafficking as well. It is up and down the coast is very easy. But again, coming in through Florida, you could come in through a lot of places, but yeah. Okay. I appreciate y'all so much. I really, really do. And sorry about the no notice. But I am going to get out of here, and I have to work for the next couple of days, so I may or may not go live, but if I don't, it's just because I'm swamped. Anyway, please send me any info that you know of, and y'all, be careful, especially if you live in Indiana, right? Whatever you do, just stay silky. Bye-bye.